Last time out, I did a tactic talk with a tactic that we'd already seen before and has done very well with three new teams of Manchester United, Brentford, and Nottingham Forest. This time around, we are going to throw in the baseline of no transfers to a version that has transfers. So we're going to see them side by side. Let's get into it. Now, this is a tactic called the Islam Double Volante CC or something along those lines. Link is in the description below, so you'll see that. Getting straight into the tactic itself, it is an attacking 4-2-3-1 right here. It is a little more compact, so right down the center, but you have a sweeper keeper in support, two wingbacks on attack. You have two ball-playing defenders in defend. You have, like I said, this tactic is called the Islam Double Volante. So you have a double volante, Segunda Volante, both on support, two shadow strikers on the sides in attack, an attacking midfielder in the central spot, and then an advanced forward in attack all the way at the top. It is, I don't know, personalized. Mentality of positive. In possession, you have attacking width is fairly wide. Passing directness is shorter. Tempo is higher. Low crosses and work the ball into the box. In transition, counter press, counter, and roll it out. And then out of possession, you can see high press, line of engagement, much higher defensive line. Trigger press much more often, prevent short keeper distribution, get stuck in, and drop off more. And as usual, opposition instructions, there are none. Now, this tactic did not seem to work as well with these three new teams, Manchester United, Brentford, and Nottingham Forest. Manchester United find them in 5th, Brentford in 6th. For some reason, the Alhamdulillah tactic did really well with 4th and 5th, I believe, and then Nottingham Forest down. This still keeps them in 5th, 6th, and 8th. So two of them getting European spots. Nottingham Forest unable to make it, though. But as you can see, Manchester United 21, 7, and 10 with 70 points. The exact same grouping that we had before with the Alhamdulillah tactic. And then Brentford this time, unfortunately, 11 points down at 18-5 with 15 losses, 59 points. Still in 6th, though. And then Nottingham Forest, 14, 12, and 12 with 54 points. Not too far off from that 6th place. And only 1 point behind Leeds in 7th. So, but as you can see, Liverpool and Man City dominate yet again as usual. So this first half of the video is no transfers, so we're not going to take a look at them. We are going to take a look at the schedule. And as you can see, Manchester United doing very well. I'm not going to go through this too much, but starting off the season with a loss to Liverpool, a loss to Tottenham, a loss to Brentford. There you go. But still a fairly good sea of green. We'll take a look at the competitions in just a minute, but you can see they got to the Europa League final. FC Porto beating them out 1-0 though. So as we shift to Brentford, they had a better start to the season, but they had a series of losses here from Nottingham Forest. There you go. That win against Manchester United, Southampton, and Bournemouth. Starting off the season against Wolves, not too bad. A 2-2 draw. It's okay. A loss to Everton, Aston Villa. So not great teams. I mean, a loss to Tottenham is okay. But 6-0 to Coventry in the FA Cup third round, 3-2 against Nottingham Forest. Loss against Manchester United 2-4 away from home. So a couple of losses here at the tail end of the season that just kept them down a little. But still, I mean, they had a long way to go to make up to Manchester United there. And if we finish on Nottingham Forest, schedule-wise, still spotty, as you would expect with the same as Brentford. So as they finish just a couple of points away from each other, but losses to Leeds in the EFL Cup second round, Liverpool 1-3, Leicester 0-3, a lot more draws here and there is what I'm seeing. And as you could see, starting up after the after the World Cup, they didn't do a single thing. A massive crushing to Manchester City, another one to City in the FA Cup fourth round. That hurts. But a lot more draws towards the tail end, a couple of losses here, just very scattered about. And if we look at the competitions, you can see, again, Nottingham Forest finishing in 8th, knocked out in the 4th round by City, knocked out in the 2nd round of the Carabao Cup by Leeds. If we go to Brentford competitions, ending up in 6th right under Manchester United, knocked out in the semis by Crystal Palace, knocked out in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup by Leeds. And then Manchester United, again, competition, 5th place, Europa League, not awful. They did lose the Europa Cup against FC Porto, knocked out in the 4th round by Wolves in the FA Cup, and knocked out in the 3rd round by Bristol City. As we take a look at the stats, Manchester United at 78 goals, Brentford 74, Nottingham Forest at 59, so not too bad there. Liverpool with 97, and City with 89. Most possession, usually we don't get that for some reason. Fewest conceded, Manchester United with 46 in 38. Most shutouts, Nottingham Forest with 13, and Manchester United with 12. Most tackles won, United with 921, Forest. And then most points per game. I'm kind of skipping through this so I can get to the next part. Manchester United with 184, and then Brentford with 155. And then player overview with most goals, Brentford, Ivan Toney with 34, Ronaldo with 27, most assists, Fernandes with 13, and Christian Eriksen with 12, so not too bad. Player of the Match awards, Cristiano Ronaldo with 9, and that is it from the list. But now, the next piece of this video is going to be with transfers, so let's see how it compares to how they did without transfers. Let's take a look. So it's the same time period, one season in. You can see Manchester United are in 6th this time around, 9th for Brentford, and 12th for Nottingham Forest. So it really has brought them down to actually bring in people. That's kind of interesting to see. And then West Ham in 16th with Europa League. They must have won the FA Cup, but still. Dropping down for these teams is really interesting to see that when they bring in people. You see Joseph Schutalo who they brought in the previous one. Alex Scott from Bristol City for 9.5. Facundo Torres from Orlando City for 9.5. And a bunch of loans, selling Radek Vitek for 125K. If you look at Brentford's transfers, Victor Cantillo from Corinthians, 4.6. Jamal Lewis from Newcastle for 5.25, and Joe Worrell from Nottingham Forest on loan. Brentford and Nottingham Forest seem to loan each other back and forth. But you got a bunch of loans here. Again, Christopher Ayer off on loan. Apparently they don't trust Christopher Ayer at all. And then Nottingham Forest transfers, you can see, did they bring it in? Gustavo Scarpa again from Palmeiras, who was in the previous one. They have their mindsets on specific people, and it's kind of interesting to see. Only loans out in January that are leaving the team. So overall, I mean, the transfers are pretty much the same. As you can see, a couple of different people from Manchester United, but overall, for some reason, it just brought all the teams down a bit. As you can see, again, Nottingham Forest ended 12th. Emirates FA Cup, they knocked out in the 3rd round by Tottenham, knocked out in the 2nd round by Leicester City in Carabao Cup. If we go to Brentford from there, you see, again, 9th place for them, 55 points. Knocked out in the 4th round by Cardiff City, knocked out in the quarters by Manchester United. And if we go to Manchester United competitions, 6th place. So they did win against Roma this time around in the Europa League. So they do have a trophy this season. FA Cup, though, knocked out in the 4th round by West Ham and knocked out in the semis by Arsenal, the Carabao Cup. I mean, a trophy, even if though they're a couple points down from where they were. So I guess to each their own. Again, let me know. Do you want me to continue with transfers and see how things go? But stats-wise, most goals, Manchester United was 75, Nottingham Forest was 68, and Brentford was 66. So that actually sees them up a bit. Fewest shots against Man United. Fewest conceded, Manchester United with 49. Most shutouts, not even in the list. Most shots for Manchester United, Brentford, and Nottingham Forest are all up there. Liverpool with most points per game, but Manchester United with 1.61. And if we look and finish on the player overviews, Ivan Toney again with 33. Former Liverpool, I apologize for that one, but I remember him from Liverpool. But 26 on there. Cristiano Ronaldo with only 21. Most assists, Van de Beek with 15, and that is it in the list. And Player of the Match awards, Ivan Toney with 7. So overall, some better stats here and there, lower positioning in the tables, but a trophy for Manchester United is pretty good after the couple of seasons that they've had. So I am not going to do this type of test pretty much ever again unless you want it. So I've got the transfers, I've got the no transfers. It is an interesting mix to see them side by side, but these tactics tests would just be too long if I had to do them and too scattered if I'm doing both side by side. So I'm going to stick with one over the other. Let me know in the comments below. Continue. Do you want to see transfers or do you not want to see transfers? What makes most sense to you? They seem to be doing better without transfers, but hey, it could be an interesting thing to see who they're bringing in every season, as long as it's not the same people every time. So far, we're seeing that. So that is it for me, Savvy FM and the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you so much for watching. Take care and enjoy.